Hello again, it's C for the Geek with another video. It's not one that I've done on this channel before, it's kind of a quasi-review, so not an unboxing, make, or a hack video, just my thoughts. Angelo from the comments asked me to do an intensive review regarding the speaker stand assembly of the Bauhn dual DJ speaker system, which I've done. See the link in the description and hopefully I'll annotate it on the screen somewhere. Otherwise, just look through the uploaded videos on this channel. I apologize in advance if this isn't what you were hoping for, Angelo. I know you also wanted me to go through the connectivity for different sources, the loudness of the speakers, and the quality of the sound. So right up, I'll say with regard to the subjective things like loudness of the speakers and quality of the sound, I don't feel qualified to comment except to say that I didn't really find it wanting. I had it in an outdoor setting for over 100 people in about 50 square meter area near a busy main road on a weekend, and it was fine for a guitar and singer and speeches. So it was fine. That's not to say there aren't any trade-offs in making the system simple for non-PA people. I won't be playing any music samples since it's not going to prove anything. You'll be reliant on the mics that I have, which are not going to be anywhere close to audio measurement quality. If I send the signal directly to an audio recorder, that wouldn't help show the quality of the speakers anyway. Either way, even if I did, it'll probably be flagged for copyright infringements, and I don't want to go into all that. The first thing to discuss, I guess, is the fact that it's mono output. I believe this is done so that you can have either speaker at any side of the location without having to work out which way to plug what input where. So if you're someone who really needs to have that stereo imaging, then this probably isn't for you. I think practically, even if you did have stereo, very few people in your audience would benefit from it. I know for home theaters and the like, this is important for immersiveness, but for a public address system where your audience is going to be spread out, it's not practicable. There's more that I could say, but hopefully you get the idea. The next thing is that there is no master volume control. It took me a while to get my head around this initially, but I think this also adds to the simplicity of use. There's no worries about the gain structure and audio workflow to mess with, or at least very little. So working from left to right, the first box of connectors and knobs is the mic line volume box. There's a white knob at the top, which is effectively the gain control for this channel grouping. The 6.5mm input jack below it, a line/mic push-in switch to its right, and the XLR input socket below those. Before going too much further here, let me say that I'm not saying you should do this nor rely on this, okay? I'm not going to cover your device, nor is the place where you bought this definitely going to cover this under warranty. Okay? What I found is that you can have inputs or input devices in both the 1/4-inch input socket and the XLR input socket at the same time, and have both amplified through the system at the same time. So instead of taking this as license to do exactly just that, please note that you should take it more as a warning that there is no cutout mechanism in the 1/4-inch or 6.5mm input socket to exclude the XLR signal, like you might expect in a mixer or other similar device. So while it's conceivable in a pinch, you could have a mic plugged into the XLR input and a guitar plugged into the 6.5mm jack, and use the volume/gain control on the guitar to match the signal strength relative to the microphone signal. It is not something I would recommend for you to do. Okay. So the next grouping is the aux volume channel group, where you have the 3.5mm input socket and a pair of RCA sockets. So whilst it may accept stereo inputs, the system down mixes it and amplifies a mono signal only. Once again, I think it's done for simplicity's sake, and it is what it is. I'll try not to harp on it anymore. Okay, a similar disclaimer to the previous, and I'm not telling you to do this and it's going to be okay to do, but more like a warning. It is possible to connect inputs to both 3.5mm and the RCA inputs at the same time, and both will be amplified through the system at the same time. Again, there's no cutout mechanism to exclude one from the other. Moving to the right, I will say though that I didn't bother testing the mix out signal that comes from the XLR output socket. But evidently it'll be mono, since by convention you're only going to get a pair of conductors through that output XLR socket. Moving to the set of controls on the right are the ones labeled equalizer high, equalizer low, and MP3 volume. So those set of controls only work with the Bluetooth, SD card, USB, FM radio audio signal. The equalizer does nothing to the audio signals that come in from the other set of inputs, absolutely nothing. It only affects the Bluetooth/SD card/USB or FM radio audio signal. The two equalizer knobs effectively act as treble and bass controls and are probably sufficient for most people. Just set it to the middle for starters. You can only have one of the above set of inputs operating at the one time, as selected by the mode button. You may notice that it says power on off just below the mode button, and this only refers to one of those inputs modes and not the overall system. So the states of operation are off, Bluetooth, SD card, USB, and FM radio, and then back to off, and so on. So if you don't want additional noise introduced into the system, then be sure to set the mode to off. I believe that these work just as they would on, say, a modern car audio system or aftermarket systems. To finish off then, I believe it's possible to have audio signals from each of those channels/groups amplified at the same time. This can be convenient and dangerous at the same time. Why convenient? Convenient because everything is on all the time, so no muted audio or fiddling with channel levels. Dangerous because input devices that can't be switched off, like mics or guitars, may cause feedback and give everyone in front of the speakers a hard time. So like I began saying before, this can be good or bad, but it's definitely simplistic. I hope that this video has been helpful to you, and if it has, please give it a thumbs up, as it helps others find it more easily. If there's something I missed or made an error or something else, then please let everyone know in the comments. I'll try to respond if I can. So until the next one, take care. Bye bye.